Ken Smyers with ControlTrends. I'm here at RealComm 2016. I'm with Todd Rodemacher.
Whoa!
Visual backnet. Why don't you tell us a little bit about both?
Work tech, work. Work tech, work. Work tech, work. Work tech, work. Hey, Kenny and I are here with a new friend. This guy totally rocks and rolls. This is Josh Bradshaw from out in Silicon Valley. Man, you're the coolest guy we've ever met.
Well, maybe you haven't met enough people.
I don't get out much, but maybe not. But you're our first Silicon Valley friend.
Okay, well, I'll take your first Silicon Valley friend, that's okay.
So let's start right off the bat. We sort of met you. We have a mutual passion, which is smart buildings and technology. And for our viewers out there, our ControlTrends audience, tell them about what you do and how you kind of got started with technology.
Well, the beginning actually is in real estate technology, believe it or not. I started out as a residential property manager. Then I went on to work at BlackRock, where I managed information systems for accounting operations on their real estate investments. And so technology has been a part of what I do. I implement it. And so currently what I do is product strategy for the Internet of Things. My day job is a product manager for an app that's a consumer Internet of Things app that connects your Nest and your smart lights and everything in your home. Think building automation, but for the home. But my nighttime job, my passion is work tech work, which is where I have a technology blog. Sure. I talk about technology, I write about technology, and I focus on technology working for you. Don't work for technology, make technology work for you. That's what the intelligent buildings is about, that's what the smart home is about, that's what wearable tech is about. I got 2 wearables on right now. That's what all of this technology is supposed to do, is make our lives easier, and I help build strategies to make that happen.
When you inform the world about these things through your blog, which is off the chain, you got to check that out.
Yeah, I have actually a link on there for real estate technology specifically, because it's a blog, so a lot of things can get lost in there. But on the real estate technology link, I have, I don't know, 8 or 9 pieces there that are linked in that talk about different aspects of smart building technology, even comparing smart building technology to smart home technology, what the market feasibility is, what does this really mean to a real estate person, because we can talk about building automation, we can talk about really cool stuff, all of these things that are very amazing and powerful that sensor technology and computing and big data can enable, but what does that mean to a real estate person? Because real estate people, we are simple people. I started in that industry, I know that industry very well, and we are simple people. So what does that mean? That means ROI, right? That means net bottom line, that means impact, that means monetization, right? And so that's what I talk about.
Well, real quick, Kenny, so I think for our audience out there, our integrators out there that are dealing with real estate people, Josh is a great resource. Even though he's not directly in our industry, he does understand the mind of the real estate people, what they're thinking about, and so definitely worth checking out.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, Josh, what I was really impressed with in your breakout, you were a moderator for a very important session, a breakout session. It was an international group of people from, I think the raise of hands was 4 or 5 different countries here in San Jose. But what I got to, I thought was very special, the takeaway was that you went from smart technology from your Fitbit to your smart home, to your smart car, to your smart cities, and then you launched from that point to talk about smart cities. Tell us a little bit more about that breakout and just what was it all about, and why is it so important for us in our environment and the world, the future?
Well, I like to look at the Internet of Things, and the way I explained it in the panel was in layers.
Right.
The most intimate layer is wearables, and right now, actually, if I turn these on, I can measure the. Of course, we're live now. It's going to be not responsive. I can measure my heart rates on both of these.
Sure.
And the interesting thing is that that's a very intimate thing. And I've got Motorola sitting over here, and I've got Apple sitting over here, and both companies are calculating my heartbeat.
Do they agree?
That's what I wanted to demo.
Oh, okay.
It's actually really interesting. If I can.
So whichever one makes you seem healthier is the one I want.
That's what I prefer too. Yeah.
No, actually, usually what happens is that I will launch them.
Yep.
They'll both read the heart, and there'll be 2 different numbers, which just proves that I'm such a nice guy. I've got 2 hearts, right?
Nice.
Yeah. No, actually, what it is it proves that we're not there yet on accuracy. We're not there yet with the technology, but that's the most intimate layer,
sure.
Right? Then you go out to the next layer. That's the connected home. Now, this morning when I got up, I stepped on my smart scale. It weighed me. It synced with my app. If you want to see my numbers.
Dude, you don't look that big.
let's see what the app said this morning.
It says no Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah, come back on that conference food.
Yeah.
Because
Well, look at this, man.
yeah. So let's see. It looks like it's, what time was it this morning? 2:31. So there's my weight this morning at 6:11 a.m.
Hey, good step count. You're doing good.
I'm at a conference.
No, I think it says how many calories you can have today. You have 6,300 calories today.
Right. I guess you can eat more conference food when
Yeah,
you're walking all day. At CES, I put on miles and miles. But so anyway, that's the connected life. You come in. That's very intimate. Connected home. I have a smart lock. I have 13 different smart light bulbs at home. I have a smart weather station. I have so many beacons I can't even count them. I've got all kinds of intelligent devices at home. I'm an early adopter, and of course I'm in the game, so I have all of these. But that's the next level, and that's a market that's coming probably in about 5 years to the mainstream. But the next layer is really interesting, because that's buildings. We all live in buildings when we are at work and when we're at play, when we're at movies, when we're shopping, when we're in government buildings. For whatever needs, we are in buildings. So outside of the home, this is the place where we spend most time. But the thing is that in those buildings, we already have things that are equal to what we have in the home when it comes to smart HVAC.
Sure.
We simply need to connect the things up to them, and then we can have an intelligent environment. A smart building is a new terminology for what building systems. You guys talk about this all the time on your podcast. I listen to your podcast. The thing is that we have had this stuff, but what we haven't had is the ability to break down the silos between all those disparate building systems. And I work with Intel. I contract with them on their intelligent building stuff, on content and review and providing some insight for them into the real estate industry. And that was something that they needed to understand. And now, you see over time how the conversation's shifting. Now we're talking more about breaking down those natural barriers that we have in commercial real estate, because the building wasn't built with that in mind, that we would be talking occupancy to lights, that we would be talking occupancy to HVAC, or it wasn't built for that. But now we have the technology to put it together. Cost of data ownership, holding it, like storage is going down. Cost of data transfer is going down, right? Yeah. Cost of sensors going down, so we can retrofit buildings with more sensors. Sure. So several enablers in the building space allow me to stand here and say, like I've said on WorkTech Work, that in the intelligent building space, we're going to see more monetizable value created in the next 5 years than we'll see in the entire connected home industry. Sure. And this is the guy who does that for his day job, right?
Nice. Well, and then you take that whole thing, and what blew us away, we never think in terms of smart cities, but you take that out to the next circle, and some of the guests you had today and some of the things you're about with the smart cities and how they're thinking about sensors and data.
That's the next layer. And then beyond that, we didn't get into that on that panel, but it's the connected world. Imagine when the entire world is connected. Now, this is the hype part. I don't like talking IoT hype, but it's there. If you want to go out and figure out how many billion IoT devices are, you can do that. But I'm a value-driven realist, and I'm looking at where the value is, and I see it in intelligent buildings. That's why I'm at RealComm, right? That's why I'm here, because there are solutions here that people are talking about that are generating real value, monetizable value, and that's what we need in the industry, the IoT industry.
You mentioned Intel. Eric had done Conference Live, and I watched the session there, and I'm starting to get better at understanding what contextualization means, all the smartphones, all the smart devices out there, and your wearables. But the woman from Intel had mentioned that they were able to monitor that at 3 o'clock there was a migration of people out the lobby door, and they went and bought coffee. And what that meant, as far as a new source of value stream, was they brought a coffee kiosk in, because they knew these people were going to go get coffee at 3 o'clock, and rather than lose that business out the door, they brought a coffee kiosk. Right. I mean, it's just you're limited by your own imagination and your own conception and your own adaptation. I think there's been some pushback. People are a little bit afraid about the IoT. They're a little bit afraid about data and privacy, but I think we're all getting used to it. I've using wireless since garage door opener, your channel changer, but if you try to introduce that to changing the sensor or sensor reading on the wall, there's some just pushback. So it's a learning process.
That's a great example. I hadn't heard that example before, but it's fantastic. The reason is that you have IoT, sensor technology that enabled you to arrive at an insight, and it wasn't just some insight, I've got so many billion or whatever of something. No, this was an insight that you could monetize on.
Right.
You could sell a product in a place where it was wanted.
Right.
And you could you could create value
Convenient.
because you didn't have to go, if you were in Houston or New York in July, you didn't have to go out in the hot humidity.
Right.
It was in the dead of winter in Detroit, you didn't have to go out in the cold.
The less doors open and closing, the less
You're saving
conditioned air.
energy,
Yep.
your tenants are happier, your occupants are happier. I mean, that raises satisfaction. How long do you think, what do you think they're going to do when they have everybody complain they have to go 10 miles to the nearest coffee shop, and you got one right inside the building now? Of
amazing.
course those tenants are going to want to stay there.
Right.
No,
Renewal.
it's definitely something. Now, Josh, help me with this, because the city managers that you had on your panel were just off the chain brilliant. I was just amazed at their intelligence. Kenny and I got a pet peeve, something that's a $2 billion a year problem that we think is solvable. We want to recruit you to help us solve this problem through awareness. Now, as we look out this window right here, it's a beautiful blue day, right?
It's San Jose, it's like this all the time.
Yeah, but what we've noticed, you
We-
see
we
the
both-
light's on.
Oh, you know
Outdoor.
what?
We call that,
that's
we,
light litter.
Light litter.
Yes,
There we go. There we
I
go.
listened to
Yeah.
your show.
And it drives us
That's
crazy.
light litter.
Why in an intelligent Silicon Valley-based area, why is that light on?
We should have brought that up to VJ. He's the CIO of the city of San Jose.
We
We finally got the politics involved.
we should have, but we want to recruit you as a special sort of undercover James Bondish secret agent
we don't
to help us with this.
We don't just have light litter during the day. Like it is literally that light is on over there. But we have it at night.
Yeah.
We have buildings with gobs of lights on, and you know they're not motion triggered.
Right.
Why at 2 a.m. do I drive by and see lights on at Google, Microsoft, Adobe, you name it. Everybody's got extra lights on.
Right.
And do we need it? So that's.
I think we're good. Listen, I tell you what, we are going to probably have to help off Josh. Listen to our Control Trends community. This is Josh Bradshaw, Work Tech Work. And dude, can we maybe get you to come on our podcast maybe once a month, give us an update on what's happening in the Valley?
Yeah, why not?
right.
I actually have found that doing video podcasts, that sort of thing, is actually really an effective medium for transferring information. I like to do short videos. So if you see me on Work Tech Work, on Facebook is actually where I do most of my stuff. I post videos out there. I did one yesterday with you. These are short little snippets, great ways to pass out a little bit of information, interviews with key people. I'll be pulling a few folks off the show floor here a little bit later. It's just a great way. The internet has made it so that we can transmit so much information. You find good sources of information, you consume it, you make good decisions on it, and your podcast is a good example. So I'm happy to
Awesome.
help you out.
Josh, thanks so much. Thanks for taking a few minutes to speak with us, buddy. Great job today.
Thank you.
Josh
Thank you.
Bradshaw.
Thanks, Josh.
And hey, what's the mantra? Hang on, the mantra?
Don't work for technology, make technology work for you.
All right, let's do this together. Because ours is, we'll combine them. Be bold, stay in control, and then we'll go. Okay, so we'll start with yours, and we'll add ours in, okay? Then Kenny goes indeed. All right, let's do the outro.
Be bold, stay in
No, we'll start with yours.
Oh, with mine.
Don't-
What's yours?
Be bold, stay in control.
Stay in control. I
Kenny
almost
goes in.
said be bold, stay in the mold.
All right.
That's the opposite of what you're going
All right, let's hit this, man. So our community will think we're really cool. So all right, so don't
work for technology. Make technology work for you.
And be bold, stay in control.
Indeed.
Indeed.
There you go.
Well done.